everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make another scrap yarn buster, and at the same time very timely and very cute, especially for our kids. We are going to make this Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse ear savers. You should have your pink yarn for the bow. You will be needing two of your preferred button, your yarn needle, and your crochet hook. For this demonstration, I'll be using 3mm crochet hook, and I'll be using a different color of yarn instead of black, only for the purpose of the demonstration, since if I will be using black, you will not be able to see clearly. Okay, so let's get started. To start with, we are going to make our magic circle. Wrap around your yarn twice on your finger, the other one at the back of the first one. Insert your hook and grab the other yarn, twist, yarn over, and make a chain of 1. And make your 8 single crochet on the magic ring. Four, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Once you have 8, we close the ring and slip stitch on our first single crochet, chain 1. Our chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. And now we're going to make 2 single crochet, in every chain for a total of 16. So continue doing your 2 single crochets in every chain until you reach the very end. We have made 16 single crochets, slip stitch to join, chain 1. Remember, your chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. And now we're going to make an alternate single crochet and an increase. So we're going to make our first single crochet in the first chain, and then make your increase on the second one, single crochet again on the next, and then increase on the next. So that will be our repeat: 1 single crochet on the next chain, and then your increase of 2 single crochets. Now we are done with our alternate increase. Slip stitch to join, chain 1. On our next round, we are going to make 2 single crochets on the next 2 chains and an increase. So make your single crochet, and an increase. So 2 single crochets on the next 2 chains and do your increase. So that will be our repeat for this round. So again, once you're done, make a slip stitch to join, and make a chain of 1. For our next round, we're going to make 3 single crochets on the next 3 chains and an increase. So make your single crochet in the first chain, single crochet on the second chain, another single crochet on the third chain, and your increase. So 3 single crochets on the next 3 chains, and your increase. So 3 single crochets, 1, 2 and 3, and your increase. So continue doing your repeat until you reach the very first chain that we made. So when you reach the end, make your slip stitch, chain of 1, and for our last round we're going to make 4 single crochets on the next 4 chains and an increase. Four single crochets and do your increase on the 5th chain. Again, 1 single crochet on the next 4 chains, and your increase on the next. So this will be our last round. Continue doing our repeat until you reach the very end, and we can fasten off our yarn. So now we are done with our last round. Slip stitch to join, and now we can fasten off. I'm going to do the ears. So make your magic circle and make 6 single crochets on the magic circle. Close it and slip stitch to join. Chain 1. Again, our chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, and we're going to make an increase in every chain, making 2 single crochets in every chain for a total of 12 chains. Ending with a slip stitch and chain 1, and we are going to do an alternate single crochet and an increase. So make your 1 single crochet on the very first chain and make your increase on the next, which is our 2 single crochets. So 1 single on the next and then an increase. 1 single crochet on the next and your increase. So this will be our repeat until we reach the very first chain that we made. And when you reach the end, slip stitch again to join and chain of 1. On our next round, we're going to make 2 single crochets on the next 2 chains and do your increase on the next. So make your single crochet on the same chain, another single crochet on the next, and your increase. So 1 single, 1 single, and 2 singles. So that will be our repeat for this round. And when you reach the end, slip stitch and chain 1. For our last round, we are going to make 3 single crochet on the next 3 chains. So make your single crochet on the very first chain, single crochet again on the next, single crochet again on the next, and increase on the next chain. So 1 2 3 and then 2 single crochet on the next chain. 1 2 3 single crochets on those 3 chains and your increase. So again, 1 single crochet on the next 3 chains and your increase. Three single crochets on the next 3 chains and an increase. On all your rounds, you will always end up with your increase, since we started with our single crochet on the very first chain. So we are going to end up with our increase. So now we are ready to fasten off, slip stitch and fasten off, and cut your yarn. You can allocate a little longer for your tail so that we have enough yarn for sewing later on. So you need to make 2 of these ears. So now we made our 2 ears and our body. So we're going to attach this one like this, and we're going to put our bow in here. So first, grab your yarn needle and you can start attaching the ears. You can just place them before finally sewing and finalize the placement for the ears. So this one is the right side, so we're going to flip our ear over like this, and we're going to start sewing. You can place the end of your tail where you want to start attaching your ear. So you're just going to flip it over and start where your tail is, and we're going to sew both together. You don't need to pull it so tightly. So far we have sewn 1 2 3 4 stitches together, and this is the 5th one. Now flip over again your ear, so now I am happy with attaching the 5 chains there, so I will just close this one in. I'm just going to weave to make it more secure before I finally cut the yarn. And you will be doing the same thing on the other side. Now we have attached both our ears, and we're going to place our buttons on the side and put our bow on the center. Take your pink yarn, make a slip knot, and make a chain of 9. Single crochet on the second chain from the hook, and on all the succeeding chains. Turn your work, single crochet on the very first chain. I did not make any chain 1. I just turn and make my first single crochet on the very first chain. Single crochet in every chain. So now this is our row 2. So you just have to repeat row 2, single crochet in every chain. So you need to turn your work at the end and make your first single crochet on the very first chain, and continue doing this until you reach the length that you prefer for the bow. So I made a total of 4.5 inches for the bow. So this is the rows of single crochet. My yarn is still attached. And now we can attach both sides. So I will just make a single crochet and cut my yarn, and I will be sewing them. This is just a simple sewing. You can also slip stitch if you want, if you don't want to sew. Anyway, this part will be hidden later on since we're going to put it at the back. So now we have sewn our bow together, and I will not be cutting this one yet. I put this one in the middle, and I will use my yarn needle and the excess yarn and sew the middle part. Then we can pull this one together, sew back in. So once your bow is ready, you can now take your Mickey Mouse, the finished product that we had. So I made this black a while ago, and you can place your bow on the center. I hope you enjoyed our tutorial for today and see you on my next video. Happy crocheting everyone, stay safe and God bless. Please don't forget to subscribe.